actor and Hollywood icon Morgan Freeman has recently bought a brand new aerospace SJ-30 from Invictus, a leading private investment firm here in the UAE. He's flown all the way from Los Angeles to Dubai and has kindly graced us with his presence today. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
It's a pleasure to talk to you, Katie.
So, early Christmas present for you this year. How was the flight over?
Oh, it was wonderful. You buy an aircraft like this, when it's advertised, they tell you about how high it flies, how fast it flies, how much range it has, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of times this advertisement is predicated on specific parameters.
Yep.
Now, the aircraft performed wonderfully, and we know she was right on the cusp, as it were, of being overloaded.
Yeah. How high did you fly, can I ask? Because of course this is sort of fastest, longest range.
We were comfortable at 43,000 feet. Her operating ceiling is 49,000 feet. She won't do that overloaded, but she will do it.
Now, of course, it's not a small price tag, $7.4 million, I believe, but you have said that it saves money in the long run.
Well, yes. You know, there was no such thing as a cheap jet.
Absolutely.
Right. And in jet aircraft, I may say, you get what you pay for. But the operating cost is what you want to be concerned with. And because the aircraft can fly so high, it's cheap to operate because it burns so little fuel. The thing about jet aircraft is the higher you fly, the less fuel you burn. And also, if you're at 43,000, 45,000 feet, and you're approaching your destination, you're almost going to burn nothing on the descent.
Now, you got your pilot's license about 7 years ago. What are you more passionate about, flying or acting?
Well, I mean, obviously I was born to act. I wasn't born to fly, as much as I like it. But I'm sure I'm far more passionate about the work that I do and not what I do to get to my work.
Now, speaking of some of the work that you do, your latest film, Invictus, has received rave reviews. Has this making that movie been a labour of love? I believe that Mandela has wanted to play you to play him for quite some time.
Well, he was one who said some time ago that if he was to be played in the movie, who would he want to do it? So yeah, I am. But you might say I'm the anointed one.
So how do you go about preparing and researching for this once-in-a-lifetime chance? After
he made that statement, and he made the statement actually about around the publication of his book, Long Walk to Freedom. And the producer in South Africa named Anat Singh owns the rights to that book. So he arranged for my first meeting with Madiba, and 2 or 3 after that also. The idea was if I get to Madiba and I say, okay, thank you for naming me, but if I'm going to play you at any time, I need to know you. I need to be able to have access to you. I need to be able to hold your hand. Yeah, and he's allowed that over the years. You know, everywhere we've gone, if we're there in together or near proximity, I've been able to go and sit with him and hold his hand and talk with him. You know, and that's very instructive. I don't know if you've ever wanted to do that, to play somebody, but if you do, hold their hand. Holding their hand, you can get a real sense of the inner energy of that person. You know, we all have it on one level or another. We're tense or we're not tense, or we're relaxed, and it's not that the hand is going to be sloppy or anything like that. It's just I know that you can get a real inside sense of just energy, what's driving.
Now, what was the biggest challenge in doing this film? I imagine adopting the South African accent can't have been an easy feat.
Yeah, but he doesn't have what you would call a South African accent. His is different. He doesn't sound South African. He sounds like Nelson Mandela. And the biggest challenge was, of course, getting that voice, the rhythm of it, and trying to sound as much like him as I could. Everybody says I hit it spot on, so I'm going to accept that.
He's been such an icon, and yourself, you've been referred to the same thing, particularly when it comes to racial issues. Do you get sick of talking about that? Do you think it's something we still should be discussing in 21st century?
Yeah, I think as long as you talk about it, it's an issue.
But obviously, I imagine it would have been a big honour getting to play him in the film as well.
Wonderful, wonderful, yeah. And, you know, you do something like that, and then you wonder how the person who is the subject is going to respond to you, to what they see, you know, so.
Good response, I hear. Just lastly, obviously you're regarded as one of Hollywood's greatest actors, but who inspires you? Who do you look up to?
Who inspired me?
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier. Yeah. When I was a young man, his career was budding, he was becoming a movie star, and I've always been an actor. And, you know, as a kid, people smile at you and say, oh yes, but they don't hold out much hope for your success in that. And he proved to me that you can be. So, you know, I've told him he was my life's beacon, my shining star.
Well, you've done very well following and even outshining his footsteps. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Have a lovely Christmas.
And you.
Thank you. Well, that's it for this edition of Inside Business. Of course, you can contact us by writing to ib@city7tv.com. Don't forget, you can also join the Inside Business Facebook page. But for now, from all of us on the Business Desk, goodbye and thanks for watching.